It's easy to say that you'll show up for someone. It's nice to plan for others to show up for us. But when they don't come through, we still have to press on, handling those moments with the irresponsible. That's our topic on this episode of the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm really honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast. This is a program that's kicking off the new year, in the United States at least, and for a lot of other countries around the world. The start of the school year is just around the corner. It feels like summer has just blown past us. For other parts of the world, we're in the middle of the school year, and so they're just kind of in that mid range of halftime and coming back into the school year and getting ramped up for the second half. So depending on where you are, we're thankful for you. We're very thankful for you because you make a difference in the lives of so many people. That's what educators do. And so as we go through this week, we just want to give you some thoughts, some encouragement and perspective, because sometimes we can lose that. We have all kinds of things that are coming at us. And especially sometimes people make commitments and then for whatever reason, things change, right? Those last minute changes, particularly at the start of the school year, can just be upsetting. They can throw us off our game, and those last minute changes are sometimes, we get it, and other times it's just like, wait, what? And we have to really just kind of press in. And so we're thankful that you're pressing in, pressing on, and continuing to lead that journey of excellence there at your school, a passion for the work, but also a discipline, because we know that great schools are the result of leaders who commit themselves to that journey every day. And we just want to praise you and thank you for all that you do in that work. C.S. Lewis once said, happy work is done by the man who takes his long-term plans somewhat lightly and works from moment to moment. In other words, there's so many things that are outside of our control. So while we want to be able to have a long-term strategic plan or even a syllabus for the year, lesson plans maybe that we've counted on, we also know that things change. That the most effective educators, they do have the ability to adapt. And that's what we want to be exploring here today is sometimes, that they said they would be here. They even signed an agreement and now they're not. Something changed. So maybe they changed their mind, or their family situation changed, or sometimes they changed their career plans. And sometimes even though they signed an agreement, even though they made a commitment, now here at the last minute, we're stuck, right? That's something just came up. And so now we have to work this through. It could be an employee, it could be a board member, it could be a family. So what now? Do we panic? Do we pray? Or do we do maybe both? Probably all the above, right? Because effective educators, we learn to adjust. We learn to, understand that these difficult moments happen, and we are very careful. We're very careful, though, to maintain a composure, right? And by that we mean that we're going to expand our options. We're going to make sure that we don't get locked into making decisions like, out of betrayal or a fear of consequences, or even from strong emotions. We have to manage ourselves. We have to stay composed and faithful, because we know, listen, it's part of the journey, and we're going to make sure that we're faithful anyway. And that's hard. It sometimes can feel betrayed, but yet we have to maintain that leadership and make sure that people know we're going to make the best decisions. We're going to communicate. We're going to make sure that we don't create secrets or surprises, but we're going to move on. Epictetus said, "We cannot control the malice or carelessness of others. We cannot control the malice or the carelessness of others. We can only control our response to it." We can't control them. We can't control their behavior or their decisions, but we can always control us. And that's where that peace and joy comes from, right? Is that serenity, is accepting that, truly accepting that. We're dealing with that reality, and then navigating forward, right? Navigating irresponsible decisions is an inescapable tax on life and work. It's part of the journey. So it's completely understandable to feel disheartened when a colleague who we believe cares as much as we do abandons their position, gives up, even at the last minute. It does. It feels that. It feels just, it kind of sometimes can hit us as that gut punch, right? Overcoming the overwhelming feelings, it takes skills. It takes an ability to be ready, to set our mind on other things, especially on things above. But navigating through the fallout isn't interfering with our job. Dealing with these kinds of things isn't just a disruption. It's the job. And we have choices to make. We still not only have choices, but we get to make choices, and we have to maximize those choices and not rush into things, but keep our options open. Peace is found in accepting what we can't change and, of course, courageously leading on. Like a broken tooth or a lame foot is reliance on the unfaithful in a time of trouble. That's Proverbs 25:19, right? Dealing with some people, it's like that broken tooth. Man, it hurts. A broken tooth is the worst, right? It's just so painful, and you don't want to chew on that side, and you want to get it fixed as fast as possible. Or even a lame foot, a sprained ankle, or a foot that's even really broken or damaged. You don't want to be hiking on that. You don't want to have to deal with that because it's so hard. And that's what it's like dealing with people who are unfaithful. And so we have to continue to lead through, especially during these times when we know things are changing and we have to adapt. We make sure that we keep that spirit. Don't lose your spirit. Don't lose that joy, right? Success in life is largely based on how we do what we can with what we have, right? It's just figuring it out. It's MacGyvering life. Malcolm Gladwell refers to that as practical intelligence, and it's a very leading part. It's an important part of highly effective educators. They figure out ways to make it work, and sometimes it's just that strength of will. That strength of will is probably the greatest differentiator. Courageously believing that what needs to be done will be done. We're going to make this work. It's just pushing forward, and somehow, some way, we'll figure out a solution, not as an act of solo defiance. I'm not going to come in and be the hero to save the day, but with a humble spirit and devoted teamwork. Right? We're in this together. I'm not going to come in and try to solve all the problems, but we can. Not just I can. But we can solve this. We'll figure out some way to keep moving on with our mission, with our calling, and with our purpose for this year. Master the art of adaptation by preparing your heart and your mind, by preparing your heart, by meditation, by thinking, by praying, by preparing your heart to know, even as you imagine each day, that things are going to get interrupted, that people are going to fail us, that we're going to make decisions that still allow us to lead anyway. We have to prepare our mind for unexpected disruptions and embrace the fact that we were made for this moment. I mean, we were literally created for such a time as this, and that allows us to step in, to be in the game, and to do our best. We don't have to be perfect, but we will lead forward. We will ensure that the goals are achieved, that our people are served, and that we're doing our best to love and lead our educators and deliver an excellent experience day in and day out, in season and out of season. Responsibly handle the irresponsible this week, my friend, responding to the fear with faithful perseverance. Now, of course, that requires, as C.S. Lewis advised, taking life moment by moment, allowing for the fact that things will change, that all plans require adaptation. Even though we set out the course to begin with, we have to be able to find ways to deal with the realities that come at us. And that's a real strength that we hope that you're able to master, and that composure, especially that executive presence, that leadership presence that allows you to be able to be trusted, that people know that you've got it, that you're going to get them through this, because that's what leaders do. A coaching question to ask yourself at the end of each day: did I do my best to responsibly handle the irresponsible today? Did I do my best, moment by moment, to responsibly handle the irresponsible today? Love them and lead them, my friend. This is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.